Sippin' and Strummin'. Whoa, whoo, yeah. Howdy, sippers. What's up, strummers? It's Brad, back. Episode 7? I should have looked. Episode 7, Sippin' and Strummin'. I hope you're well. Beautiful day in Chicago, early March, almost 60 degrees, sunny. Got my back door open, if you know what I mean. Good, looking out my back door. My voice is shot, but my soul is invigorated, reinvigorated after the week-long Mardi Gras trip to New Orleans. That's why I'm sipping some water, taking a little break out of my 2025 Bacchus throw. You know, if you've ever been to any of those parades down there, they love to chuck the plastic cups with the beads, too. Some cats will just take out a sleeve of cups, chuck them up in the air, boom, like fireworks, and then everyone's grabbing them. What an immaculate vibe that fucking parade was, though, man. Families, cool kids, cool people. Shaq was there. Everybody just he was the grand marshal. Everybody just having a good time. Let's see. Before that, though, I got credit card frauded. Man, was that a drag. $550 charge on one of these. You know, a couple of early cards I had. After I got divorced, turns out I didn't have any credit. I thought I had good credit. We had good joint credit, but mostly I guess that's because Linda had good credit. I had no credit. So I had to start from scratch. So I got a couple of bullshit cards, you know, and one of them's a Credit One Bank Amex, and I got a charge on there. The statement just said, what did it say? It said, Evolved, Posen, Illinois, P-O-S-E-N, Illinois. So I called Credit One Bank. I said, that's not me. I didn't make that. I've never been to Posen. I don't know what that is. Okay, do you have your card on you? Yeah, of course I do. We'll rip that up. And we'll issue you a new one. And we'll credit your account the $550. Cool. A couple weeks later, I get an email. After investigation, our team has declared you responsible because your card with chip was used on site to make this purchase. I was like, wait. So I went on, Googled Posen, Evolved, Posen, Illinois. No business, no such business. There's an Evolve without a D in Orland, which I guess is kind of close to Posen. So I emailed that woman. She said, nope, we have no credit of that. We have no record of that charge. I go, sweet. So I call them back, the credit card company. Well, I'm sorry, sir. As far as our records go, the case is closed. Your chip was used on site. And it wasn't. It's been on me from issuance to destruction. It's not. You're wrong. Can I talk to the investigator? They don't let you talk to the investigative team. It's just done in-house. Well, this. So I just, after a couple calls, getting nowhere, the case is closed. I seethed. I just seethed for a few days. And then I said, fuck that. So I called them back again. And I managed to get a phone number out of the guy. And so I called. It was a 662 prefix. And shockingly, the number was out of order. It was discontinued, whatever, out of service. So I look it up, and it's Mississippi prefix. So I look for Evolved in Mississippi, and I find an Evolve without a D again, hair salon and stuff. So in Tupelo, Mississippi. So I call that guy. And he says, we're closed on Tuesdays, which was the day of the transaction. He goes, that wouldn't have been us. Also, he said, do you know how much you'd have to buy to spend $550 in this salon in Tupelo, Mississippi? I said, I imagine you'd have to buy the place. He was like, yeah, that's pretty much right. Tupelo, Mississippi, the birthplace of Elvis Aaron Presley, by the way. So I called the credit card company back, and I was like, what kind of investigation have you done? I mean, if this smells, I don't do this for a living, and this smells like credit card fraud, and you guys are telling me you investigated it and everything is legit? That's insane. But I couldn't get any further. you know, they just want you to get exhausted and frustrated and give up. And they got me by the short hairs too, because I'm not going to not pay it. I can't cancel the card, stop the payment coming from my bank or something, because that reflects poorly on me. So I was like, well, I'm just going to have to eat this one. And then I said, fuck that. So I went online and I found some credit card bureaus that help you with that kind of stuff, filled out a form on one of them. And then I went to the police station, filled out a fraud report. The guy was about to eat his lunch. He was kind of annoyed, but I won him over. He was cool, because fucking credit card companies, right? Everybody has that in common. Fuck them. And then that took a few minutes and I left, and you know, it's all now. I have a portal that I go to view my complaint. But the next day I woke up after the police station and I got an email that said after further investigation, and I got it was not my fault, and I got the $550 credit back on my account. And I was like, son of a bitch, the cops fucking did that. Sorry, I'm smoking a cigar that I brought back from one of my happy places in New Orleans on Decatur, the cigar factory. These little guys, they don't stay lit very well, so I'm sucking and I'm puffing and I'm huffing. But, and people I spoke to were like, the cops didn't do shit. Was it the cops? And I thought, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know what happened. And then I got back from New Orleans, and my pile of mail in the doorway was a letter from Credit One. Dear Brad Dennison, Credit One Bank received your communication dated February 22nd, 2025. Happy birthday, Tracy, my older sister. Forwarded from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So that thing that I filled out on the internet, them fuckers, the comptroller or something it was, man, they came through. They did their dizzle. Upon receipt of your communication, we reopened and completed the investigation for your account. You are held not responsible for the fraudulent transactions totaling $550. Related fees and interest charges have been credited. Boom. It's a fucking Mardi Gras miracle. But, man, that's scary though, isn't it? These cats do whatever they want, and you can't see. I'm sure Chase hasn't been like that anytime, which hasn't been very often, but maybe never, but even if I'm in a different city and I try to buy groceries, Chase goes, did you make this charge or whatever? And then I can click right on there, whatever. But from people I spoke to, most banks aren't like that. Most credit card companies aren't like that. My friend Eric, he had his identity stolen, and he said Credit One Bank was the bitch of the bunch to try to get that shit cleared up. But, they just lied. They lied about my investigating it and finding out that my card and finding that my card was used on site. That's a lie. That's fucking infuriating and frightening. So, fuck them. I wish I believed in hell sometimes for bad people and people that do things like that, And that's why they get shot in the streets of New York City. Oh, that was a healthcare official, but potato, tomato, I guess is the saying. Anyway, Mardi Gras. Oh, anyway, before I close that up, anybody that knows anything about credit cards, hit me up, because I told them I will never they issued me a new card, and it's in the drawer in the paper still. I told them I'll never put another penny on a card of theirs. How much credit is bad credit? Is there such a thing? Because Chase would never, I've been banking with Chase for years, but they would never give me a credit card until now that I've built my credit up to, it's pretty damn good now. And now I can get a card. My Bass Pro Shops card has a good limit on it, $6,000 or something like that. But all I do is get points towards ammo and fishing lures and, things like that, which, I'm not putting down. That shit has its place. But I want this Chase card for cash back and for airline tickets and all that shit. So people have told me if I put those cards away, those early 2 that I bought to build credit that I got, and don't use them, it doesn't hurt my credit at all. People told me that they will eventually close out on their own due to inactivity and then affect my credit. Do I close them, just take the hit for a year or whatever? Like, how does anybody with any insight to that? That would be amazing. Thank you. So Mardi Gras was amazing. We had a nice crew of us, Cam, myself, my friends Connor, Bella, my friend Steven, who I've known since 14 back in Pittsburgh. He met us down there. He had a Mardi Gras, didn't you, Steven? You had a Mardi Gras. Steven and Bourbon Street, turns out. Long lost loves. Peas and carrots. We go together like peas and carrots. Peanut butter jelly, bourbon and cigars. Anyway, we had a great time, and we rode a lot of bikes. And some of those people, some of my friends hadn't ridden bikes in ages, and riding a bike there in Mardi Gras during Mardi Gras in New Orleans is a hell of a place to pick it up again, but they killed it. I'm so used to, like, we stayed like a couple miles, Bayou St. John, we stayed a couple miles outside the quarter and stuff because I figured I want it quiet at night, and I figured they did too. And then you go to the activity, but when you come home at night, you kind of want a little peace. So you have to go 2 miles to the activity every day and 2 miles home. And the Ubers are fucking horrendous. $48, $50, $55 to go 2 miles if you can get there because of the traffic. And you don't want to wake up and have a 2 mile walk to the events when you're going to walk around all day and then look at a 2 mile walk on your way home. It really takes some of the oomph, some of the shine off of Mardi Gras when you have to wake up and first thing so a 2 mile bike ride is much nicer. It was beautiful weather, low 70s, high 60s, got up to 76, 78, maybe a day or two. So we biked in, chained our bikes up, festivities, walked, and then you just had a cruise home on your bike. It was nice. But to get to one of the parades, we had to bike a little bit, and I'm so used to just when I was living there and going there just on my own. So I'd go one-way streets. I'd go up on a sidewalk and down, and I'd cross a bit of a highway maybe, an underpass, and it shoots you out here and there. And I just worried about myself. But now I look back, and I was like, I had this little trail of ducklings behind me, and I was like, oh shit, like I don't have a route planned. And this is traffic that's parked cars on either side, and it's just standstill traffic. And you're trying to go between cars, and some of them are trying to turn into what they think is a spot without turn signals because they just see it real fast, but it's a driveway. And there are people opening doors, and it was daunting. But everybody killed it. Everybody did great. And like I said at the beginning, the vibe of that parade was just immaculate. It was so cool, so fun. Everyone had a good time. We saw a lot of music. We ate a lot of good food. We clowned quite a bit. It was interesting for them to see, the lead up to Mardi Gras Day when you're in the French Quarter and stuff. It's fucking wild, and it's a little bit, it's gross. It can be kind of gross, but fun, but gross. Crowded. 90% of everything is just cool. You see pukers and, college kids getting drunk and fighting and stuff like that. But then when Fat Tuesday hits, man, and we woke up in the morning, we woke up at 4:30. I got Connor and Bella an Airbnb right by us in Bayou St. John, which is the Tremé it's like Bayou St. John, the Tremé, and the French Quarter. And in the Tremé, which is where I used to live, one of my favorite neighborhoods, the Skull and Bones gang, which is a form of Mardi Gras Indians, rather than dressing up as like Native American allies, which you should read about the history of New Orleans if you've never been there. It's fucking fascinating, the cultures and everything that happened there. Well, these guys are dressed up as spirits, and they come out at sunup, well, just before sunup, like 5 a.m. every Mardi Gras since like 1820 or something, 200 years, and they just sing songs and they chant. One dude's on stilts, they're all in, and they bang drums, and they're all in Skull and Bones, and they do these songs, and it's basically they're telling you, the first thing they say is dead man walking, and it's just symbolic of like shedding. This is, for them, Mardi Gras morning is a time of renewal. You have a chance to like leave behind who you were, all your faults, all your sins, all whatever, and this is a brand new start to your year. You can be what you want. And they sing songs about if you don't change, the next time you see them will be too late, things like that. Really moving. A lot of people there. So this is the first year they actually processed. Usually they just walk around the Tremé, and they'll go into people's houses and they'll wake them up, and they'll just chant, this Mardi Gras morning, let's go, let's get going. And they processed up to a bar where they usually come out of in the morning. And I saw that. Luckily, I woke up at 4:30. I woke up first, and I was like on the internet looking, and I found their route. And I go, "Hey guys, let's walk up to where they're going to end, and see if there's." So we're walking up there. It's about a mile or so. We leave all the crowd and the Skull and Bones behind, and we walk up there. Beautiful morning. The sun's coming up, and we run into the 7 mystical sisters, and they're doing their little routine, which is it's all females, and they're all in white, and they have percussion instruments. One woman had her baby attached to the front of her, very powerful, and they're singing songs, and they're asking to call out people that have passed or people there, and they pray for them. And it's I'll put some video at the end of this if you guys are watching on the tubes, on the YouTubes, and I'll show you. I took a little short video of both of those on the same morning within a mile of each other, and you'll see the different vibe, but really cool. I'm glad that I got my friends to see the Mardi Gras side of it. That's just the decadence and the stuff, the partying and the getting drunk and stuff, and having a good time, seeing music. But then that people take that shit seriously down there, man. That is ingrained hundreds of years, generations in their culture of this. I don't know. I don't want to say mysticism, but the spiritual side of Mardi Gras and of life in general down there. And it's really moving to see. And so that was amazing. I'll play a little bit of a song. I'm not going to play too much, but this is a song that I wrote when I was living down there on Ash Wednesday, called Ash Wednesday Blues. It's on my Instagram somewhere. I made a video for it of pictures that I had taken down there, and I just superimposed them over this song. It's also on, I believe it's on Spotify or something. If you want a copy of it, just let me know. I'll find it for you. But the Ash Wednesday vibe is really cool after Mardi Gras. The whole town, the energy is still magical and electric, but a lot of the fucking kids are gone and a lot of everything's gone, and it's just this really beautiful energy. But I wrote this. I'll do like a couple choruses or a couple verses. It goes up. This morning, doorway in Jackson Square, a handful of dimes, beats in my hand. Carnival is come and gone. She got me drunk and stole my muse. Left me here with nothing but these Ash Wednesday blues. I stagger down uneven streets, sure feels like rain. Brass bands and bucket boys soundtrack my pain. Yesterday I was a king, parading down the avenue. Sold my crown and broken down by these Ash Wednesday blues. I found love so long ago, let it fly away. She hopped a flight to Mexico, and I feel it every day. Now I roam the Vucare, worn out soul and brand new shoes, just to sip to chase away these Ash Wednesday blues. Sitting by the river, watching that muddy water flow. Gonna jump on that Creole Queen and go where I go. hasn't heard the news about that man who never could beat them? Ash Wednesday Blues. Well, limped through that one, but I told you. That's on the interwebs somewhere, Ash Wednesday Blues. Another song I wrote called Later Gator, from a swing by Bayou St. John. That's on the That's on the YouTube, actually. If you just scroll down a few videos, you'll see it. It's just a picture. It's a lyric video of a picture of the swing I wrote it on by the Bayou. But anyway, I'm going to throw some pictures, maybe in a couple vid clips at the end of this. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Love y'all. Hope you're well. Talk to you soon.
He went,
the bread pudding sucked. And I went, oh, thank you, sir. And one for you, sir.
Sippin'.